Hello and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Commentary. Today we looked into the Champions League, the Europa League, and just reminisced about the Premier League season. Look forward to the season to come. We also did a few imagination exercises along the way, so we hope you enjoy this. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcoming to the show today, Deke. Haven't heard from you in a while. How is it in WA?
Whenever we get asked that question, we say terrible because we are really, really lucky over here and we don't want to jinx it.
Also, you'll probably stop people from coming over there and overcrowding it, It's like, this entree is terrible. No, you don't want any of it. Oh, yeah.
That's mate, the coffees over here are so overpriced. Meanwhile, there's people frolicking in meadows, enjoying their lives to the fullest. There's literally, butterflies landing on people over here. Anyway.
And Cos, of course. Yes, as per usual. Myself and Cos. Cos is here, that's right.
Yep.
He's not happy, but so many people are unhappy. We've had a few things happen over the last week or so. When we last spoke, we were waiting on the Champions League to start up again, and the Championship playoff final between Fulham and Brentford. Unfortunately for me, Brentford did not win. Fulham made it through. Congratulations to Fulham for bouncing back to the Premier League after being relegated last season. So they unrelegated themselves this season, and now they're back in it with Scotty Parker. So we're continuing the trend of managers from past players or very young managers really taking over at clubs. And Cos, anything you'd want to say about on that note?
Yes, speaking of young managers, Andrea Pirlo.
I wouldn't call him young. He's basically 52. So
no, he's not that old.
He's 40 though, right?
He's in his 40s, yeah. But that's young.
Wait, is he? No, he's not in his 40s, is he?
Don't you think that's young?
Well, didn't he retire last season? Okay, I'm checking this out. You keep talking. I just need to find out how old he is.
Juventus decided to sack.
He's 41.
Their manager. Well, there you go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, Juventus decided to sack their manager and Maurizio Sarri, and they hired Pirlo to replace him, and I'm done.
Chainsmoker Sarri is out the window, and the reason for that is because Juventus got knocked out of the Champions League. But we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah, look, we will, and look, Pirlo could be all right, but at the end of the day, he's got no experience, and he's coaching Juventus. I mean, I'm done.
And we're not even talking about his, he's done a few bit of coaching here and there in amateur leagues or anything. He has absolutely zero
experience.
In fact,
completely nothing.
He retired 3 years ago. Excuse me. So
basically, he's been retired for a while. He's been drinking his wine, and now he's back coaching Juventus. It's amazing.
I want to know how that worked. Was he just sitting down in, like Batman? He's just looking at his costume, and then he gets the call. He gets the call. Pirlo.
What would that look like?
Yeah, I don't know. I do like the trend of seeing the club legends coming back, and it's just interesting that you would call somebody onto a ship that's already sunk. It should be you got 5 or 8 or something games left, and that your season's over. There's no chance. I mean, with Juventus, there's not really much difference, right? Because they're just going to win. You could have literally a safety pin managing, and that team would probably still win the league. But it's weird that you sack at the end, and you've got a fresh new season full of completely overbearing expectations, and then you send in a guy that's literally just taken off his team shirt, right? I don't get it. But you know what? Italians do things differently, and they gave us Mussolini, but they also gave us fantastically tailored suits. So this could go one way or the other.
It's all emotional, Deke. Everything comes back to emotions. That's all. Everything.
I feel like
passion and emotion.
Pirlo was probably, he'd retired. He'd been in the game for so long. He was 38 when he retired. He's sitting just like the setting you pictured there, sitting in a couch with a glass of wine, probably in a really nice suit, just drinking away.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I'm picturing a guy that's like sitting, and he's slightly out of shape now. He's on a semi-rocking
Pilo's
chair.
pretty good looking.
He's good looking, but he's slightly overweight. Look, he's not. His playing days are past, and now he's just been drinking wine and eating fantastic Italian food. Sitting on his porch, the sun is shining down. It's a vineyard, and he peers over. It's just like he's got that look that Thanos has at the end of Infinity War. Just that look of complete satisfaction. Like he's completed everything he wanted. But then he's like, I have to go back.
Yeah. He calls up the president of Juventus and says, "Hey, look, I can't do this. I need to be doing something. What can I do?" Well,
we don't need Sarri. Get rid of him.
Well,
come back.
We're kind of in a situation now where no matter what the hell we do, we always win the Scudetto. So you could be the manager. We'll see how that goes. Okay, let's do it. Okay, my club needs me.
I wonder how much he's getting paid.
Nothing yet because he hasn't started. But he did. Cos, you heard something. He said something about Milan, right? That they, or did you not hear about this?
Did I bet Milan?
Yeah, well, Milan, obviously, Pirlo was a legend, more of a legend at Milan than he was at Juventus.
I mean, he spent most of his career.
Cosme,
he spent most of his career at Milan, and he came to Juventus in the last 2 or 3 years of his career, really.
A bit like Arteta at Arsenal. But
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's loved at Juventus for what he did, but he's more of a legend from AC Milan.
So you didn't hear what he heard from AC Milan?
What did you hear from AC Milan?
My scouts tell me that I don't know if he didn't get approached by AC Milan or anything like that, but people are sort of thinking, why Juventus, why not Milan? And he said, well, basically I don't know anyone left at Milan. Like I think there was one Inzaghi that he knew, and that's it. So he said, all my friends are now at Juventus, so I went to Juventus.
Look, it's all emotional again. Like, I mean, why come to Milan? Why not Milan? I mean, just one glance will give you the answer.
Well, that's true.
They get emotional. They just get emotional. Oh, come to Milan.
I don't think it was why didn't you come? You bust, But he.
No, there would have been an element.
Oh yeah, someone would have said that, but I think it was more of a case of, Milan's been sort of a rotating door of managers. Why didn't you go there? But what was it? 9 days as the under-23s coach.
Well, yeah. So he didn't oversee a game or anything. I don't think he took one training session.
He came in, saw them train. It's like, this is good. Hey, Peter, we need you to manage the first team. Okay, let's go. I've done enough training.
Batman just got promoted.
I've never been more ready for this in my life.
Isn't it, Deke, a bit like Luke Skywalker? It's like, okay, I need to train you. Okay, I need to lift a boat. Sorry, not a boat. I need to lift a ship. I can't do that. Okay, I watch you do it. Now I have to go fight Darth Vader. See ya, bye. It's like, you're ready.
No,
that's a well-paced movie right there, isn't it?
To be fair, he would have done a lot of mulling and thinking when he was drinking his wine. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of thinking to be done in those 3 years. So I think he's ready.
Yeah, he's ready. I mean, he's had a lot of time to think.
Cosme, that photo you sent of him sitting there with the wine, it was perfect. It was exactly what I imagined.
No, because when you said the vineyard, Deke, I'm like, no, I've got to send him this.
It's beautiful.
All right.
That made me happy. That image made me happy. Anyway.
It made me happy.
And now he's going to go back and get a heart attack after them getting kicked out of Champions League again eventually.
Okay, so the reason that Juventus failed to qualify, they got knocked out on away goals against Lyon. They were trailing 1-0 from the first leg, and to be honest, they were a bit stiff because they copped a dodgy penalty, then they got a dodgy penalty, then they scored an awesome goal, and that's how it ended, 2-1. and knocked out on away goals, even though when they played at home they had no crowd, so they had that disadvantage. And it's the second time in 10 years that Lyon has knocked out Cristiano Ronaldo, so there you go. But
Brutal.
and the first time a French team has knocked out Juventus in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, so another one for you.
Yeah, well, they say careful what you wish for. And, we all wanted the Champions League to come back, and the Italian teams have all just dropping like flies, aren't they?
Oh, Atalanta's still going strong, but and we always thought that Napoli
they haven't played yet.
It was an uphill battle for Napoli anyway. They were against Barcelona. Yeah. So, another interesting fact: Cristiano Ronaldo, Juventus scored 7 goals in. No. This actually comes together, Deke. Anyway, Juventus has scored. No, Dick. That's not the kicker yet. That's not even the kicker. All right. Juventus has scored 7 goals in knockout rounds since Cristiano Ronaldo, or is it just the last 2 seasons? Is that how long Ronaldo's been there, Cos? 2 seasons, right?
This is his second season.
Yeah, second season. So for the 2 seasons that Ronaldo's been at Juventus, they've scored 7 goals only in the knockout rounds. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored all of them. So there we go. It comes back around. It literally is Cristiano Ronaldo scoring the 7 goals and all the goals for Juventus and not getting past the quarterfinals. So
I'm so excited being a Juventus fan.
Well, they've just become over-reliant on him. And actually, on that note, I've noticed a trend that when teams are over-reliant on a player, when that player then leaves, or I mean in this case he's still there, but when that player leaves, they become it takes them at least a season or 2 just to not even get back to the same level they were before. It sort of like obviously Real Madrid, after they lost Ronaldo, they were a shadow of the team. I can't remember what manager they took on, but he went down in flames to say it nicely. Even Zinedine Zidane couldn't pull off miracles. He's seen them knocked out in the round of 16 twice, I believe. So just not going there for Real Madrid. That's after, of course, winning 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues back-to-back.
But they're winning La Liga now, aren't they?
They won La Liga, yeah. They won La Liga,
yeah.
But La Liga is just...
at least they got the consolation prize.
Oh yeah, they got the consolation prize. In Spain, that's the consolation prize. In England, that's like the main prize. But
that is all that matters.
Yeah, that's the one that matters. But yeah. Well, obviously, Juve's knocked out. That Lyon go through to play Manchester City, who beat Real Madrid 2-1 again. So that's 4-2 overall on aggregate. And both the goals were basically picking the pockets of the defenders. I saw this great meme where it's got these guys in like soldiers in khaki uniform trying to bash down a door. One guy is trying to like kick the door down. The other guy's like hitting it with like a battering ram, and then the third guy. So those first 2 people are Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus, as captioned in the meme, and then the third guy is what's his first name? Varane from Real Madrid, which is Real Madrid's defender who basically gift wrapped the goals for Manchester City and let them through. He just opens the door for them and they just walk in. So because they were trying to push the door, which actually needed to be pulled. So
it wasn't just that. So they're like military guys, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they're trying to break into the door and they're just like kicking it in and then some other guy just comes in and just like opens the handle,
pulls it open.
Yeah. And
this is like, the way, boys. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's go. But yeah, that sums up that game kind of well. Real Madrid's goal was a penalty off the top of my head, but I could be lying there. But either way, Manchester City play Lyon now in the quarterfinals. The other games of interest, Barcelona against Napoli, they finished the job. They were up 3-0 in the first half, and then Napoli scored a late penalty in the first half to make it 3-1, make it a bit tense, but wasn't enough. They go through 4-2 on aggregate. In Bayern Munich,
Yep.
which we...
Can Lionel Messi just leave Barcelona, please?
It's fine. They'll still lose.
No. He's too good for him.
Right, for them.
Where's he going to go?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't care. I want to see Barca without him.
Yeah, well, it'll
What
happen.
about if he went to Man City?
I am sick of watching Barca and he just leave Barca, please.
Can we see Messi play at Real Madrid?
Or that'd be like
Sacrilege,
Yeah, no,
it would never happen.
yeah.
No, it wouldn't go to. It wouldn't be at Real Madrid.
I
Anywhere
reckon
but
Manchester City. Manchester
Juventus.
City is that would
yeah.
be cool.
Well,
To play
They-
with
they-
Ronaldo. Like, it's, just like everyone's fantasy. They talk about it for ages and stuff like that. And then, here it's possible because there's no rivalries. There's no excuses. You just go there, They got money. They could look, they don't need anyone else on the team. So they can just sell off anyone of value that's not Ronaldo and they'll be fine.
Messi would be at least 200 million. Probably 250, right?
He can go for
Well,
free, I'm
he's
pretty
out of-
sure.
yeah, he's out of contract, so there's a free transfer if
Yummy.
if he wants to.
Yummy. Daddy's coming home.
It's obviously the wages would have to be pretty high, but
Yeah.
free transfer.
Yeah, so it'll be about 250 million.
Yeah.
250 million for the first season.
Yeah,
and rising to 300 million every season thereafter. But
Dude, that would just be ridiculous, having them both on the same team. I do think that Man City would be more likely for Messi to go to, though.
Man City, yeah. Well, there's a Pep Guardiola link, but I doubt it would happen. It just wouldn't happen. But if he did, would I don't know what to think then. If he went to the Premier League, I'd just be be weird having him in the Premier League. But and then Ronaldo comes back to Manchester United just because, and they start like having their wars with each other. But anyway, there's always Liverpool.
Man
but
City would be supreme. Obvious. I reckon if they got Messi, that would just be unstoppable.
Yeah, that's true. But now they have to contend with Bayern Munich, which Cos and I were saying that there's an off chance of Chelsea causing a ruckus at Bayern Munich. Didn't happen. They obviously lost the first leg 3-0 and then lost the second leg 4-1. So, Robert Lewandowski was involved in all 7 of those Bayern goals, with 4 goals and 3 assists. 4 goals and 3 assists. 2 in this game, penalty, and good on you, Robbo.
Yeah,
As you
good
do.
old Lewandowski, or as we all know him, Ronaldo's less marketable twin.
No, correction. He scored 3 goals and assisted 4. So, it's still he's moved on to the fourth highest all-time Champions League goal scorer. So, just behind Raul. So, he's closing in on him.
Do you think he would have been in for a shout with the Ballon d'Or?
If there was one, they cancelled it.
Yeah, exactly. But do you think he would have been?
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone was talking about it and say that he was robbed when there was no Ballon d'Or. So, he would have been up there for sure. But I don't know. I don't think that Lewandowski would ever sort of reach that bracket, because it's really through the goals he scores. He doesn't get that many assists, and it's like, I don't know. The Ballon d'Ors are fast anyway. I don't really care about it, but it's still like it would have been nice, but like the pure goal scorers, I don't think are necessarily more deserving than other players. Like, you get the Van Dijks and the Hendersons and stuff being, which is, to be honest, like if you look at all those things, it's a bit, not so much with Van Dijk, but with Henderson winning the players, the Writers Player of the Year award in England. That was just a bit. It's just weird, because I don't see. I don't know what they vote for. You know what I mean? And it's just a popularity contest, so it doesn't really mean much. But Bayern Munich, going through, we thought that Chelsea might have had a chance of an upset here. However, the lineups were just, I mean, Chelsea's injury list was insane. Not just their injury list, but also the suspension. So they had the following players out. Alonso. So Alonso was suspended. Azpilicueta was injured. Jorginho also suspended. Pedro was injured. Pulisic was injured, which is the main one. Willian was injured, and the other ones don't really matter. So they effectively had half their first team out, and they have they've got a very young squad as it is. So they were never going to get through on that one, unfortunately. Chelsea goes out with a whimper, and Chelsea have nothing to show for this season other than qualifying for the Champions League next season. So good on them for that, but other than that, they've had a... it's the first season for Lampard, but it's a season to forget. Moving on. The Champions League draw. We have, on one side of the draw, RB Leipzig, Atletico Madrid, and Atalanta against PSG. So that's arguably the weaker side of the draw, considering we have Manchester City and Lyon on one side. And I'm not talking about Lyon because Barcelona and Bayern Munich play in the other game, which is going to be quite a showdown. They're all one-off games played in... I'm not sure where they are playing. I believe it's in... it's either Portugal or... Yeah, it's in Portugal. And with the Europa League being played in Germany, I believe. But
Germany, yes.
So, yeah, Germany. So, in terms of nationalities, we've got one English team, two French teams, two Spanish teams, two German teams, and one Italian team, Atalanta, of course. Just got to go through. So, we have an opportunity to have, I think, one from each in the next round, in the semi-finals. Hopefully, we don't have any French teams and no Spanish teams. That would be the best. So we just have the two Germans against Italy and England. But
you don't like the French and Spanish teams?
Well, okay, Lyon, it's their own thing. But I want to see Man City finally go deep in this one because they don't have any other English teams to play in the quarterfinals and knock them out. And I don't like... I just don't like the Spanish league. I just don't like the Spanish league.
As a Liverpool fan, I actually want Man City to beat. Like, I was happy that Man City they went through against Real Madrid, right?
Yes.
Like, it's everybody was saying I would rather Real Madrid win. I'm like, what?
That's England.
Yeah, but even then, like, why do you care about Man City? You know.
I've always been a proponent of that. Like, don't look at your opponent's misery. Just, focus on your own team. Ignore them.
No, but like, there's respect between. I mean, look, the Man City team is a different thing. But from what I see between Pep and Klopp, like, that's a representation of how you should view the rivalry between those two teams. Because honestly, they're not really rivals, right?
Well, they're rivals, but they're respectful rivals.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I think that Real Madrid, I mean, they've got a few despicable players on their team, and I'd much rather that team go down in flames.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, Sergio Ramos didn't play in the second leg because he was suspended. He got sent off late in the first game. So yeah, he got.
What was he suspended for?
He got a red card late in the first leg.
Oh, he got a red card.
What?
Really?
Ramos getting a red card. Newsflash.
Is that usual? That's uncharacteristic from Ramos.
Well, actually, it's uncharacteristic from the referee. Usually they let him go. But anyway. But,
you hit him twice, Ramos. I'm going to have to call this one. Sorry. Yeah,
so with this draw, the winner of Manchester City Lyon plays against the winner of Barcelona Bayern. So arguably the three favourites, Manchester City, Barcelona and Bayern Munich, are all on the same side of the draw, which means only one of them can make the final. Opening a chance for one of Leipzig, Atletico, Atalanta, and Paris Saint-Germain, which could see
Right, 'cause-
Paris finally make the final. Which is, have they made it past the quarters? Cause I don't think they have.
I don't believe they've made it past the quarterfinals, not from memory.
Right,
Yeah, well-
Cos, I
Yes.
want you. Sorry, I want you to listen to your heart, okay?
Mm.
And I want you to tell me, in the best world possible, in the ideal world, who are the two finalists in this year's Champions League?
Definitely not Abdul's Inter Milan.
If I'm listening to my heart, not my head, but obviously Atalanta.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yes. Yep. And Atletico Madrid.
Well, they can't both be in
Because
the final.
Oh, that's right. But I'm listening to my heart because Atletico play like Italians.
Wait. Are we
Anyway,
listening to Cos's heart or his head?
Well,
Okay,
I listen to
listening-
my heart.
I didn't hear the question.
I went the whole way. I didn't logic completely without the window. Because I'm just sides of the draw.
Atalanta and Atletico both going to the final. I don't care about the draw. It's just that's how it's going to be. All right.
Well, if I have to use the draw, then I'd say Atalanta and probably Bayern because I think they're the best team.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that your heart or your head?
No, it's my heart.
Okay, that's
It's
your heart.
definitely
What about your head?
Yeah.
What,
my head says Atletico
Oof.
and Bayern final.
Ooh. So Bayern makes it
What
into
about you?
both. What me?
yeah, what about you, Mikey? Like,
Well, my
first
heart
of all, get the
says.
heart one.
Well, my heart says PSG and City. Not because I want them to make the final, although I do want City to make the final, but because I guess there is a bit of romanticism of seeing PSG make a final because they've been working so hard, and
There is nothing romantic about PSG making a
but
final.
but because romantic about them making the final and just getting dismantled.
No, look, they just raid Serie A all the time, and I'm sick of them.
Yeah, that's all right. Conte's in there now.
Yeah.
He'll sort them out. But also Paris Saint-Germain against Manchester City would be the oil final, so it would make so
Yeah.
many people rage.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure what to think of that. Okay, I want Manchester City to win though because I don't know. I've just got this symmetry of last season Liverpool winning the Champions League, Man City winning the EPL, and then this season Liverpool winning the EPL and Manchester City winning the Champions League. Like it would sort of what's it called? It would push this like not fantasy in my head, but it's like this belief that those two teams are currently like the top two teams in Europe.
Yeah.
However,
balance at all things.
I would say Atletico Madrid winning the final would also, as much as I hate the Spanish league, Atletico Madrid winning the final would actually fill my heart with joy, just because they got done by Real Madrid twice.
Yeah, they've been there twice before.
Yeah,
and
and lost in like real just like
heartbreaking circumstances.
exactly. Sergio Ramos equalising in like the 95th minute or something like that, and then going on to win the game for him. Obviously, like Atalanta, I'd love to see them go, but they're not going to do it. You know, they've lost their form from before the coronavirus, so they're not quite. Although no, they were doing quite well after the coronavirus. So I don't know. I love
they
them
dominated.
yeah,
After.
if they beat Paris, then I'll be happy. But I'm actually thinking Atletico will win because I think the teams on the other side of the draw will be too tired from their intense encounters, and because I think that might be a factor. We saw it in the Euros when the teams in the tougher side of the draw, I think what was it, Germany and Italy and France, they all played against each other, and then basically the next round they got knocked out after playing the hard game.
Look, it will be a factor definitely
Because of
it
the
always
unique,
comes into it.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's one-legged and the games are very close together and they will be high intensity. So
Yeah.
it'll be a factor for sure.
That said, I think Man City to make the final against. I honestly think anybody on the other side can make it through because I'll say why. Atalanta obviously showed some really good form in the close of the Serie A season. Paris is obviously a really ambitious club with top players. Atletico Madrid has that capacity to be Atletico Madrid, but they also have not been great this season in La Liga. And RB Leipzig have gotten this far. They demolished Tottenham. They beat them 4-0 on aggregate. They're playing well. They don't have Timo Werner though, so that's the downside for them. But Atletico have been really hot and cold this season, and they could have an off game and not go through. So I think the least likely is Leipzig to go through. But with Atletico being so hot and cold, I think that opens up the route for anyone else. But I feel like Atalanta, Paris, one of those two teams will go through to the final, unless Atletico is Atletico.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. If Atletico needs to be Atletico to get through. they can beat all those teams easily. But
what team do you guys not want to see win?
Paris. That's my number one probably.
Paris. I don't want to see Paris win. I don't want to see Barcelona win.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Man City win. I don't want to see Lyon win.
Why Lyon?
Because they just knocked out Juventus. That's why.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not their fault that Juventus was garbage. But anyway, yes, continue.
What? It's my heart, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just, just let me be emotional.
You have such a love-hate relationship with Juventus. It's amazing to me how.
Isn't that with all my teams, Mike?
but with Juventus in particular, like sometimes I feel like I forget that you're a Juventus fan at all because you just give them you're so hard on them. Even if they do well, you're like, no, I'm sick of this. Like, no, they're winning too much Serie A. No, this is making Italian football terrible. Like, your heart is more invested in Italian football than it is Juventus, which makes you.
No, yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. Juventus.
You know what it is? He gets the worst of both worlds because, right, when they win the Italian league, that's painful. And when they lose in the Champions League, that's painful.
And they do them both.
And they're doing both
every season.
Cosme, you've got to set yourself up for more joy in your life, man. Just find some way of enjoying what happens.
Oh, let it shine, mate. Let it shine.
Yeah, I should change my approach, shouldn't I?
What you should do is want them to lose in the Champions League and win Serie A.
That's actually genius. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
What is it? If the mountain
Stop asking for things that aren't going to happen.
Yeah. If the mountain won't come to Muhammad, then Muhammad goes to the mountain.
All right. I think there's enough on the Champions League. Those games will be played in half a week's time on the Thursday for us. In the morning, I think it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. They're consecutive days, I believe.
Oh, glorious!
Yes, but there is also the matter of the Europa League, which is before that. And did not even realize that Wolves are playing Sevilla. Oh my God, Wolves do not lose this game. Do not lose this game.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Is that
Europa
a one? Is that but is that a two-legged thing?
Yeah, so they're all one-legged in both competitions. Actually, there's some really good games here. And when I say some really good games here, there's two really good games here. Inter Milan against Bayer Leverkusen. Wow, that's so Bayer Leverkusen for context, they the runners-up in the German Cup against Bayern Munich. They lost 4-2 in that one, and obviously Inter Milan, no introduction is required there. Antonio, and it's Antonio, right? Antonio Conte.
Yeah. Well, it's Antonio, but
Antonio. Yeah.
Antonio's fine.
Yeah, okay. Anthony. I mean,
hey, you'd be nice now.
I said Conte, but anyway. Anthony Conte and his
I'm just shaking. I'm just sitting here shaking my head.
Dude,
Inter
you've dug the
Milanist.
hole. You've dug the hole. It's
Internationales. Of course, with Antonio Conte with half of EPL FC playing against Bayer Leverkusen. Who have they got now? They have Christian Eriksen, Lukaku, Ashley Young. There's a few more, but there's no point reeling them off. Basically, half of the Premier League's top players from, I think, every top 6 team except for Liverpool. Playing against Leverkusen. Wolves playing Sevilla, and those 2 teams will not meet. So those 4 teams rather will not meet until the final, if they meet at all. Manchester United playing FC Copenhagen in the other fixture across
That's
from
a
Wolves
Danish
and Sevilla.
club? Is Copenhagen Danish?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they're Danish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They beat oh god, I can't do this. Basak
Başakşehir or something.
Thank you, Başakşehir. That's about right. To make it through to this stage, and Inter Milan, obviously they beat Getafe in a one-off because they were the one of 2 teams that played a one-off. Funnily enough, both of them were Italian teams against Spanish teams. Sevilla won 2-0 against Roma, and Inter win 2-0 against Getafe. So good on them there. Leverkusen overcame Rangers on the way to their game against Inter, and the last game sees Shakhtar Donetsk play against Basel. All in one-off games in Germany. I'm not sure which town in Germany. Cos, do you know which town in Germany?
I have absolutely no idea.
It's one of the only places in Europe where they're just, whatever you call it, safe from, well managed from coronavirus. Let's just say.
Yeah.
The European places have done a lot better than Victoria has, but although technically they haven't. But anyway, we won't dig that hole. If Inter Milan, sorry.
Who's going through? Are we doing the same thing?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to introduce you guys to my patented way of picking a winner for the Melbourne Cup. This is how I do it. I look at the horse names, and I pick the coolest name. Now, we've got some pretty good names here.
Yeah, we do have some pretty good names.
We've got Inter Milan. That's a very sexy name.
Yeah,
Leverkusen. I like that name a lot. Man United and Copenhagen. Yeah, okay, cool, whatever.
So they're getting knocked out.
Shakhtar Donetsk. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. Basel is bit tame.
They're all right. And then you got Wolves and Sevilla. So you've got five solid
candidates.
contenders for the cup. You know, there's eight teams. Really, we've only got 5 teams left based on the names. So my pick here is what's the coolest name here? What do you think, Cos?
I think the coolest name is Inter Milan.
Right, there you go. There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Inter Milan's going to win the Euro. The European Cup.
Europa
It's
League.
not the Champions League.
Europa League,
Yeah, that
yeah.
one.
Well, that's definitely possible. I'm thinking, it's so hard. I think Wolves have sort of slowed down since the return from Corona. Although I'm not sure how true that is. They've had sort of they started off well, but then they finish off the season with a bit of a whimper, which cost them because they could have made the Champions League in England, but they didn't. Sevilla is. I just hope they don't go through. I don't like Sevilla. I really don't. Not just because there's the 3 clubs I probably don't like the most in Spain: Sevilla, and then Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Why Sevilla? Like,
there was a Europa League final 4 years ago, which didn't end well for Liverpool. But other than that,
but that's not Liverpool. That's not Sevilla's fault. Liverpool.
yeah, no,
didn't play
exactly.
well in
It's
that
just
game.
because Liverpool
actually,
lost.
no, it was Sevilla's fault because they were dirty
Oh.
and it was just
Right.
unsportsmanlike and just everything. It was just really like the round before Villarreal. Huge respect for them, even though like we thumped them, but like Villarreal, they played with honour. Sevilla played with zero honour, and we did self-destruct, but Sevilla just played in a way that I just...
Well, that's not Sevilla's fault that you self-destruct.
Yeah, it isn't. Oh, actually,
No, but the
was a
reason
little
why
bit.
he has an issue is outside of the game, is what he's saying.
Yeah, they're just the way that they play. I'm not a fan of, and they've continued
Yeah.
that way, and just not. Look, plenty of respect for what they've done in Spain, but I don't care for them because I also don't like the Spanish league. It's just not the way that it's run. It's not. We've talked about this endlessly, Cos. So
Yeah, we have.
not going to go into depth there. Yeah, well, Wolves hopefully beat Sevilla. Really, I hope they beat Sevilla. That has to happen. They play on the 11th, which is in a couple of days from when we record. That'll be on the Tuesday for us. And then they also, on the same day, Manchester United play against Copenhagen, and the winner of those two games meets in the semi-final. So we won't have an all-English final. That's a given. And I think England is the only country that has two teams at this stage of the final, because we've got Basel from Switzerland, Shakhtar Donetsk from the Ukraine, Bayer Leverkusen from Germany, Inter Milan from Italy, Copenhagen from Denmark, United and Wolves from England, and Sevilla from Spain. So once we get to the final, I imagine the winner of Inter and Bayer Leverkusen will make the final. I don't think there's too much controversy in that opinion, Cos.
No, not really. I'm hoping to make it. And look, Man United's the strongest team, I think. I mean, looking at it now, the form they were in, the way they finished the season in England, they're surely the strongest team. But yeah, an Inter Man United final will be pretty good.
That would be interesting. I will say this much though: I hope Inter don't make the final if they're going to lose it. If they're going to make the final, I hope they win. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Like it would suck to see Inter make the final and lose it, but I want my heart wants to see Wolves win it, because then Wolves will be in the Champions League as well next season, which is just sort of like a bonus. But if Wolves don't win it, I wouldn't begrudge Manchester United winning it, just because I've sort of felt like I shouldn't be saying this, I know, but I just feel like Manchester United have been copping a lot of flack this season, and I think they've actually been playing quite well, and they've made a lot of progress, and this would sort of encapsulate the progress that they've made. But yeah, for me, Wolves, United, Inter, they're the three teams that I'd like to see. I'd be happy to see them win.
I'll just be happy to see Inter win.
Yeah, well, really, it's Conte FC. So let's be real about that. It's not Inter Milan we care about. It's Conte FC.
No, don't forget. You know, a person named Lukaku's there, and
that's for Abdul.
Actually, our friend Abdul will be pretty interested in this, because he did predict
that Inter would win. Maybe he was mistaken in that Inter would win the Europa League.
Will be funny. He did predict. Did he predict that Inter would make the semis of the Champions League? It was the semis, not the final.
Yeah, we named the 4 semi-finalists. I said Leipzig was going to make it. So
it would be funny if Atalanta make the semis of the Champions League, because they do wear the black and blue.
I did say that he got mixed up because they wear the same shirt colours. So
and they do have Duvan Zapata, who, in Abdul's words, is a black striker. So he couldn't have possibly got mixed up. But and
I believe I was there for that chat, that friendly chat.
Deke was witness to this.
It was a good one, and I'm just saying it'll be funny if Atalanta do make the semis, and Inter end up winning the Europa League.
How about they just both win both competitions? And
look, I'd love it, but Atalanta winning the Champions League, I think it's just a stretch too far.
Yeah, it's a touch too far. I'd love to see them beat PSG. That would be enough for me. I wouldn't get my hopes up for the rest, but them beating PSG would just make me very happy, and also make my sports bet account very happy. So
I'd like to see Copenhagen win the Europa League.
Look, it's a bit unfortunate we haven't really given them much of a mention, but Copenhagen's sort of the elephant in the room.
Well, we don't know anything about them really. They're like the new kids on the block.
To get this far, they beat Basaksehir 3-1 on aggregate. They overcame a 1-0 deficit and won 3-0 in the second leg. So they just they turned that one around, and they beat Celtic earlier on.
Oh,
yeah, so they can turn it on.
Yeah,
what
there was
a
a
Danish powerhouse!
Yeah, well, they seem to have turned it on in the second leg both times, and there's not going to be a second leg here. So,
that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Put a mortgage on your house. Take the loan. Take out equity. Put it on Copenhagen.
Hopefully, Frenchie's not listening to this.
Well, look, when their back's against the wall, they turn it on.
Exactly, second leg. There won't be a first leg, Michael. What you neglected to mention is that
Depends how they approach it. Hey?
This is the second leg. Their backs are against the wall. The machetes and the Rambo machine guns are coming out.
It's a mental shift. The manager has to say, "All right, boys, the first leg was 0-0. This is
and
the
that
second
is a
leg.
line.
It's all here. It's
their
all
logo. Their logo does have a blue lion.
Oh
so
no, cause don't.
They are very, very. They are very, very powerful, and we all know how powerful.
Would you say that they have pride?
They do have pride, and they've got a lot of main wealth.
Yeah, a lot of wealth in that mane, but all right. But look, I'm not giving them the time of day. They're going to get knocked out, unfortunately. Manchester United. I'm sounding like Abdul now. Like they would do this. It's like it's a foregone conclusion. I know there's no such thing as a foregone conclusion, but
we've got to have some fun.
This is the easiest one to pick out of all of them. Manchester United have a fully rested team. They barely broke a sweat against Lask, and they have some hard hitters in there. They're definitely favourites to go through.
They're looking really good. Manchester United are looking really, really good. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm really, really excited to see what happens, because I feel like, first of all, it was kind of a Manchester City versus Liverpool for the past 3 years, right?
2 years.
I'm excited to see. Well,
the season before that, Liverpool finished 4th, and Manchester United was 19 points behind Manchester City, so there was no competition in that season.
Yeah, right. So it's been a one team for 1 year before that, and then a 2-team, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see a bit more of a level playing field. I mean, and it's not just Manchester City, Liverpool, and Man United. Then you've got the step down. You've got Chelsea, you've got Arsenal, you've got Tottenham. You've got Wolves coming up.
It's a lot of steps down to Tottenham, actually. But anyway, continue.
Oh, really? They're that bad? Look, man, I just want to see Mourinho win something again. All right, that guy is what's the word? Controversial figure, and I understand why.
Passionate
but I want him to win something so he can go on one of his rants again.
I'm with you, Deke. I want to see another one of his rants. I'm with you.
But he's mellowed out. He really has, and even when he gets angry, he does it calmly. It's not the Mourinho of old, which is probably why he's not winning games anymore. But
I think it's because when he was a commentator, everybody loved him.
Yeah,
like it was ridiculous, and he realized just how much of a circus it was. Because when he was a manager, it was like, everything was serious. Everybody was against him. You know what I mean? Like there was a thing of like, why are you coming after me? And then when he worked in the media and he met all those people, he understood how their minds work and how the circus works. He went back as a manager and he's like, you're having a shot at me? All right, go for it. Like it's not serious anymore.
But also, he got like he basically got the media to blunt their weapons a bit. To sort of lay down the weapons and not attack him as much, because he's actually a likable fellow. He's like, we're friends off screen. I'll meet you for drinks later. Like, It's sort of like that vibe. Whereas before it was kind of you guys are idiots. Like, why are you doing
him going on to was it Sky Sports?
Yeah, Sky Sports.
As a pundit, like that was probably one of the best
stroke of genius.
What's the word? Like image, like social image rehabilitations of,
it was a bit of a PR campaign as well from the inside. He just.
But the thing was, it wasn't like it was authentic. There wasn't anything. Everything about it was how people reacted to him
Everything about
genuinely.
it
So
was perfect.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's,
you're right.
It's
You're right.
great
You're
to
right.
watch.
Yeah,
Anyway.
you're right. Yeah, I think he's taking a bit off his edge off. I think possibly, but it's interesting to see what will happen at Tottenham because they're sort of in that situation where, all right, we're going to bring in Mourinho to win stuff. It's like I can't win stuff with this team. Okay, then what do we do next? We don't sack managers. How long do we keep him? It's like, this is the 3 seasons, 4. Like, what are we gonna do? It's like, that's fine. I'll get my paycheck. He just doesn't get angry anymore. So,
Dude, Mourinho just becomes the new Gareth Bale.
they pay for me to come here. I play Football Manager. You know, I don't have to do anything here. But yeah, well, Arteta obviously winning Arteta won the FA Cup as well. In the meantime,
Good for him. Good for Arsenal.
Arguably, Arsenal's developed a bit of a backbone. They beat Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, Tottenham as well. I believe. Am I wrong there, Cos? Did they beat Tottenham?
I have absolutely no idea what happened.
Well, I think they beat Tottenham as well.
But, however, I do want to mention Arsenal Fan TV because they were very excited after they won the FA Cup.
They were,
and they were over the moon, and they were quick to point out. And I think this was DT. If you get on DT, he was quick to point out that Arteta has achieved in 6 months what Tottenham have been trying to do in years, and that's win a trophy. So they're up and about, the Arsenal fans. Don't you worry about that.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's true. The Tottenham hasn't won a trophy since I think 2008 or something like that, and they haven't won a title for God knows how long. They've only had 2 of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're still ahead of Tottenham in that sense. Arsenal finished below Tottenham, but because they won the FA Cup, they go into Europa qualifiers. They still need to crawl their way through, but they're in Europe, whereas Tottenham is basically sweating on. How does this work again? Because Tottenham.
No, I think Tottenham are out, aren't they?
No, Tottenham are in. Tottenham are in the Europa League spots. Wolves are out. So Wolves need to win the Europa League to see Europe next season. After this is their first season in Europe, isn't it? Yeah, because last season they got promoted. They made the European spots. Now they're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So, yeah, I really hope they can really push through there. But the Premier League, they saw Fulham come back. So now the list, the new teams coming back are Fulham, Leeds United, and West Brom, of course. So Leeds United, the one that hasn't been there for the longest. It'll be interesting to see how those teams go. And Norwich, Bournemouth, and Watford are the ones going down. A lot of teams poaching some players, especially from Watford, because there's a few interesting players.
Well, they've got some good players, Watford.
And Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I've got a handful as well. So.
Well, Man City poached Nathan Ake, I think, from...
Nathan Ake, yeah.
Ake,
from,
yeah, whatever.
Formerly of
apologies
Chelsea.
Again, apologies for
another player.
His name.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Nathan Ake. I always thought that he was English, but he's Dutch. He plays for the Dutch national team.
Oh,
yeah, he's
right.
Dutch.
That's
why he looks like what's his name? Hullet? He kind of looks like.
Yeah, he kind of does.
He's got the locks. And it's just like the, and he seems like a smart player. So, and he's Dutch. So, but yeah, another player going, from Chelsea's discard list into a top team. So we'll see how he turns out. If it's anything like De Bruyne, Salah, who are the other ones? There's a whole heap of them. There's so many of them, but I can't be bothered naming them all. But I think that's enough. Salah and De Bruyne. You drop those two, and you sort of go, well.
You're already in a bad position.
We could have made better choices.
Yeah.
What was that?
You're already in a bad position just with those two.
Yeah, exactly. It's bad enough. We don't need to dance on their grave.
Yeah, but were they that good when they left though?
No, obviously they weren't. But De Bruyne was arguably, so Salah definitely needed some what's it called? To smooth out the edges. He went to Roma and really sort of flourished there because he had such a free role. And De Bruyne, when he went to Wolfsburg, he got a bit of a free role as well there, which you weren't going to get at Chelsea. Chelsea was just a club that was very structured, and they didn't really let players, just run freely and do their bit. Everyone has a very specific role to play, and there's not really much room for creativity. It's changed now with Lampard, but and you're seeing all these young players come through, which is interesting. Mason Mount, what's his name?
Tammy Abraham.
Tammy Abraham, that's the one. Christian Pulisic. There's a lot of and Pulisic is arguably the best of the lot. So they've done well with that. Lampard's done well with that. We'll see how they develop next season. They were arguably the third best team last season. It's just that their inconsistency was just it's next level. And they were they just conceded so many goals. It was ridiculous. But they ended up finishing fourth behind Manchester United, who finished with ridiculous form. I think they were the third best team. Well, they were third best team at the end of the season, but they were probably the second best team in the last half of the season. So, incredible. It should be interesting, like you say, Deke, what's going to happen next season. But I wouldn't be holding your breath for a 4-horse race, or even a 3-horse race, or even anyone other than Liverpool and Manchester City being in the race, to be honest. Because I think the gap is still mainly the consistency that's missing, because they have ridiculous consistency, those two teams.
The thing is, like, I'm a fan of Liverpool, right? But I think that I appreciate the war. I've played video games where it's just it's brutal, and like the art of the game is not winning; it's winning with some sort of challenge, right? So seeing a league where there's that sort of challenge is what I'm excited to see. Like, even though Liverpool lost the year before last, and it was by 1 point, wasn't it?
Just last season, actually. But yeah, it was 1 point.
Yeah, that one was a much more exciting season. Like, even it was awesome to see Liverpool win, obviously. But like, I want to see something close. I want to see these gladiators, really bring their A game and be at all cylinders firing. Because I want to see some good football, and I want to see everybody be the best that they can be. So me as a bored person sitting on a couch eating Doritos can get the best out of my time.
Well, I would actually say the last two seasons were both just as interesting for just as long, but in different periods. Because in the season before last, you weren't expecting Liverpool to actually challenge Manchester City for the title. Well, I wasn't anyway. So it didn't really get exciting until the second half of the season, when you're like, oh, there's something going on here. Like, oh, Liverpool taking the lead now. It's like they look like they're going to keep winning game. Whoa, why aren't these teams losing? What the heck's going on? And then last season, it was equally. It was like the first half of the season, because what both teams are capable of. You know how many wins they can get in a row, and Liverpool ended up with 18 straight twice wins. That's insane, absolutely insane. And they were undefeated for most of it. Yeah, 18 straight wins in the Premier League.
Is that a record?
Equal best, I think. So the first time was from the end of last season and through to, I think, game 10 or something like that this season. And then they did it again. They drew, and then they did the same thing again, basically. So, or better. So they equaled the highest amount of wins in a row. in the Premier
Jeez.
League. So yeah, just insane.
See,
But
that's
Yeah,
the thing.
at the end of game 10, Salah would just turn to Van Dijk and said, "Hey man, that was fun. We should have won."
yeah, pretty much. They were like, "Damn it, we drew." Okay, back we go. We're doing it again, boys. It's a bit like when before. Like the last thing you do in a training session. It's like, all right, we'll do this many passes in a row, and if someone stuffs it up, we're doing it all over again. It's like, okay, bang, bang. You get to like just before the end, and then you stuff up. All right, boys, we're doing it again. We're going to be here till midnight if we have to. Okay, back we go. And they did it, which was incredible.
Well, that's the thing. That's what happens when you got a strong rival like Man City in the league. It drives you to new heights.
And that's just it, because Liverpool, even when they went 15 points clear, you're like, all right, it's been a good start. We just got to keep on winning games.
Yeah, that's
in any other season, you'd just be thinking, all right, 15-point lead, we're good, we're done. Like there's no way they're going to catch us, right? But it was just like...
that is pretty funny. It's like 15, you're 15 points clear and you're on edge.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, when we got to like 20 points, and that's when it was getting to the stage where I think we should be okay, but we need to win a few more. It's just a few more games. Just a few more games.
But that's not. It's not just because of how good Man City is. It's also because, as Liverpool fans, you're conditioned for the worst case
the
scenario.
disappointment. It's like, we didn't know what this happened.
All right,
again.
you know what's going to happen is we're going to re-sign Gerrard and he's going to slip again. Like that's just
ouch. Ouch. Oh god. But
how long? How many times do you think he thinks about that? Like, do you think every night he goes to bed and he still thinks about that?
I don't think he thinks about it anymore. Now that they've won, he's just like, I know I didn't win it, but I don't care.
Couldn't Liverpool have signed him on like a 10-day contract at the end of the season just so he could?
No, but you need to play 5 games.
Oh, a 5-game contract just at the end of the season.
Yeah, they could have. They won the game with more than 5 games to spare. So
yeah, so couldn't they have given him a contract and said, "I'll just play 5 games"?
No, he actually got invited to celebrate with the team after they'd won.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
he declined the invite because
it wasn't his.
Well, it's not so much it wasn't his. He just felt like the players got there, so they deserved to celebrate with each other, and he didn't want to sort of intrude onto that. But he still called them and then watched them celebrate.
That's nice.
And at home he celebrated, so he was still celebrating it as a fan, but he wasn't celebrating it with them because he didn't feel like it's like taking away their thunder. You know what I mean?
That's where
I know you just won the Premier League, but Stevie G's here. Yeah.
Could you imagine the arrogance though of just like signing him just for a quick 5-gamer at the end? Not only that you sign Gerrard and you play an out of form Stevie G, where you could literally just set up deck chairs and let every team score against you, and you just sit there and sip pina coladas. Like it doesn't matter, right? But then it's not only that. For that to happen, Stevie G has to hand in a letter of resignation at the Rangers. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish it happened.
All worth it. All worth it.
All right. Well, unless anybody has anything else to say, I think we'll wrap it up there. Cos?
No, I'm all good. I got everything off my chest.
Deke?
Viva la Stevie G's memory.
This is Viva la Stevie G's memory.
And I didn't get to say this, but I'm really happy Liverpool won.
Yes.
I was really on edge until that last game where we clinched the championship. I thought we may have slipped up, but we didn't.
That's right. We got there in the end. And in celebration of Liverpool winning that the title this season, Cos and I finally did another video, which is up on YouTube, and it's coming along nicely. Basically, all the reasons, everything you need to know about becoming a Liverpool fan if you want to be one. If you haven't picked a team yet, so feel free to check that out on YouTube. Look up Cosmic Commentary. What is it? Liverpool FC. Why should you follow them? Something along those lines. So feel free to have a look at that.
Did that video make you feel a little dirty doing that one?
No, I was good. I was pretty happy with it, and
excellent, good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what I like to hear.
And we're not sure who's next, but if anyone has any recommendations, I think we're tossing up between
Melbourne Victory and Manchester United.
Yeah. It's a tough choice.
Yeah, it's very tough. If you,
I'm
look,
not sure.
and in all honesty, if you don't get the clue from that, I can't help you anymore.
So thank you everyone for listening. If you listen to this podcast on YouTube, we are also available on Podbean and Spotify. If you haven't seen us on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel as well. We have videos, including that Liverpool video on what you need to basically follow Liverpool. So check that out, please. We'd be very grateful, and leave some comments because we love comments, and especially if someone has a team that they want us to do. We've got a whole lockdown to plan it, so plenty of time to work on that there. So thanks for coming down, Deke, and Cos, of course. And Cos, thank you as well.
No problems at all.
And we will speak to you next time.
Talk to you then.
Take care, guys.